Hello, I'm Ollie and this is Criminally, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today I've got a largely vintage book haul for you. So I keep on trying to stop acquiring new physical books, and yet new physical books keep on turning up at the house. So I'm rapidly running out of room, but it seems to be a bit out of control at the moment. So I thought I'd do a video today just to update you on some of the things that have come in recently. There's really three sections to this video. So there's the vintage section. So I've got some lovely vintage books that have I've bought recently, all of which I'm very looking forward to showing you, one of which in particular, which I'll save for the end. And then I've had a few things sent to me by other booktubers or by authors and publishers. And then I've got, I think, maybe it's only one. Then I've got one new book that I bought for myself as well. So let's do the ones that have come from other booktubers first. So a couple of those. So Roy from the channel, Roy Reads Anything, sent me this copy of C.B. Angel by Larry Adcock, which is a novel from, I think, the late 70s or early 80s, kind of cashing in on the boom in popularity of CB radios. So Roy reviewed this on another CB book on his channel as part of Garb August. He offered up this copy, had a spare copy of this one, and he wants to do one of those kind of pass it on type things. So I'm going to read this at some point, and then I will put a post in my community tab or make a video about it. And some other lucky person can get to read this wonderful slice of 70s cheese, which is CB Angel. Also had another Garb August book sent to me by Anne from the channel Anti-Hero Annie, the Bookish Badass. So this is a book she read for Garb August, Lady Godiva and Master Tom by Real C4. Which she didn't particularly like, but I really enjoyed her review of it and commented on it. And she said, like Roy, she had a spare copy of this, so she chucked one in the post to me. So this is a vintage Bantam book about Lady Godiva, who you can see nude on the cover there with her modesty just about covered by her hair. So looking forward to giving that a go at some point. So in terms of stuff from publishers and authors, let me just rearrange things slightly. So a few things here. So a couple of things in from Titan Books. So I've got A Light Most Hateful by Hayley Piper. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. I haven't read any Hayley Piper yet, apart from one short story, which is in an anthology I helped to edit a while ago. So I've heard great things about her writing. Really looking forward to this, which is her new release, which comes out in, I think, the 11th of October. So I will read this soon and review it on the channel. I was also sent this, so I know nothing about this book. So it turned up very intriguingly packaged in cardboard and string. From the author, I believe. So it's called Tramps of Ammon Road. It's book one of the, and there's a bit in French here, Le Meurtre de l'Agneau et le Chien. I don't know what that means, but it looks like a really interesting book. So it's got kind of colour pictures as well as like illustrations and things like that. So there's all sorts of interesting stuff going on in this book. I have no idea what it's about, but it's beautifully presented. It's like bits like this as well, where it's like handwritten bits. So yeah, really looking forward to giving this a go at some point. It is huge. It's nearly 600 pages, so I don't know quite how quickly I'll get to it, but it does look interesting. Also got then another one from Titan. I think I've done these in the wrong order. Yeah. So anyway, another one from Titan. So the new novel, the first novel, in fact, from Eric LaRocca, Everything the Darkness Eats. So I've enjoyed the two novellas I've read by LaRocca. So looking forward to reading this. A fairly short novel, but it is a novel. It's over 200 pages. So yes, looking forward to giving this a try. And we'll probably do a review of that one on the channel at some point as well. And then got the latest issue, which I think has only just been published, of Occult Detective magazine. MJ from the channel Reading This Life has got an article in this issue. So if you're a fan of MJ's content, you might want to pick up a copy of Occult Detective magazine and read her in print, as well as watching her videos. And then also got from Bob Dice, one of the editors, what's it called? Atomic Werewolves and Man-Eating Plants by Robert Dice and Wyatt Doyle. So this is from the Men's Adventure library. They publish fantastic books. So I've talked about a few of their books on the channel over the last couple of years. Most recently, their Lawrence Block book, which was brilliant. So this one, as the title suggests, focuses on kind of atomic mutations and man-eating plants and things like that. So stories from the old pulp magazines and Men's Adventure magazines. So there's a bunch of different stories and articles and things like that in here. It just looks fantastic. They're always great. They do a fantastic job of selecting and curating the right stories to make a really interesting read. I suspect that some of the stories from those old magazines are just terrible, but I've yet to come across a bad story in one of these anthologies published by Bob and Wyatt. So really looking forward to this. So that's all the stuff that was sent to me by publishers and authors and booktubers and whatnot. So the one physical book I bought myself, one new book I bought myself recently was Holly by Stephen King, which I got on release day. So my review of this is up on the channel already. I thought it was fantastic. Had a really good time with it. So yeah, look out for that review if you haven't watched it already. Right, so let's get on to the vintage stuff then. So there's the one book in particular which I'm going to save for last, but what I'm going to go through first is, so as people who've watched the channel for a while will know, I've been reading the Edge series by George G. Gilman, which is a series of westerns, and the Executioner series by Don Pendleton, which is a kind of men's adventure series about a guy going up against the mafia. So both of those series have loads of books in them. So there's about 60 books in the Edge series. There's over 400 books in the Execution series. So I've been gradually, building up my collections so I can try and read them in order. So I had a few gaps coming up in terms of my read-throughs of those series, so have plugged those gaps. So I think I've now got all of the Edge books up to book 50. So the ones I picked up recently were, I'm not even going to try and do these in order. So I got Savage Dawn, Town on Trial, Vengeance at Ventura. I do love these old 70s covers. And then these ones are slightly newer ones. Oh no, hold on. Slaughter Road as well with the old style cover. And then I've got 3 with the newer style covers, which I'm not sure if these ones were written slightly later than the other ones. Yeah, these are from the 80s, where the other ones I think were from the 70s. So we've got The Godforsaken. So definitely more of an 80s vibe to these covers than the old ones. School for Slaughter. And Revenge Ride. So yeah, looking forward to those. And then for the Executioner, I've got a few UK editions and a few US editions. The US editions, which are the pinnacle ones, I'll show in a minute, are just beautiful. So these are the UK ones anyway. Let's see if I can do these in order. So number 23, which is St. Louis Showdown. I mean, these covers are pretty good, but the US covers are spectacular. Right, 25, which is Colorado Kill Zone. A nice bit of skiing action. I don't think we've seen Mac Bolan skiing in any of the books so far, so looking forward to finding out if he can ski. I have no doubt he can, because he's very good at everything. Acapulco Rampage, which has got a pretty spectacular helicopter versus speedboat cover. Dixie Convoy, which looks like it might tap into that CB radio vibe of CB Baby a bit as well. So yeah, this looks good. It's set in Atlanta. And then Tennessee Smash, with the Confederate flag on the cover there, which you don't see on books quite so often anymore for very valid reasons. And then the US ones I got, and these are all from I don't know if they're all like first printings, but these are the old style pinnacle covers. So book 28, Savage Fire. Book 29, Command Strike. And I got all of these from a seller on Abe Books in the UK, GD Price, who is fantastic. He has amazing stuff and really reasonably priced as well. So book 31, Arizona Ambush. And then we get into what I think is like the climax of like the first story arc, if you like, of The Executioner. So the initial books are all about him going up against the mafia. And I think these last 6 books kind of finish that story, and thereafter he becomes like more of a government agent, and there's like all the kind of spy and anti-terror stuff and that kind of thing. So anyway, we've got book 33, Monday's Mob. You'll see there's a theme to these titles. Book 34, Terrible Tuesday. I think that might be my favourite cover. I just think that's fantastically well done. Book 35, Wednesday's Wrath. Book 36, Thermal Thursday. Just a bit of a weird title, but it's got one of those, I don't know what you call them, those things they have in Florida that float across the top of the water. Book 37, Friday's Feast, which has got him riding on the skid of a helicopter, firing a bazooka at like a warship. So that's going to be pretty good. And then the final one, book 38, Satan's Sabbath. So yeah, really looking forward to. I may have to speed up my reading of the Executioner books in order to get to that kind of climax to the original story arc. So that leaves one book to talk about. So my favourite book. So one of my subscribers, Wilfer's Library, pointed out to me, and someone else, so Anne from the channel, Anne Novella, had recommended this app before as well. So the app is Vinted, which is like a mostly used, I think, for people selling clothes and things like that, but you do get books on there as well. So they both recommended I check it out, and I found a beautiful, beautiful vintage edition of one of the books from the 87th Precinct series. So the 87th Precinct series by Edmund Bain is my favourite book series of all time, and I've mostly got like paperback copies. But I found this fantastic vintage book club edition. So it's from the Thriller Book Club. But isn't that just beautiful? Like the colours on that and the design is just absolutely fantastic. Really thrilled with this. So this is from 1962, this edition, and it's just spectacular. I'm blown away by it. I absolutely love this book. So yeah, and it's a great book as well. I've read this one a couple of times. So yeah, thanks again to Wilfred and Anne for pointing me in the direction of Vinted. So yes, a little book haul for you today. Let me know if you've read any of the books I talked about. Hopefully you didn't get too bored by the endless Executioner books that I showed there, and you've managed to make it through to the end. So if you have made it through to the end, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you've got anything you'd like to say about any of the books. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Hope you're safe and well out there. Hope you're reading good stuff, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Cheerio.